Bill Musgrave didn't just speak. He dropped a bomb. A clean, professional, no-frills bomb that confirmed everything fans, media, and probably Shedeur Sanders himself have been thinking for weeks. Cleveland has no real plan for Shedeur Sanders. No roadmap. No structure. No real development path. What they do have? A theater. A drama. A season-long performance of "We're doing things the right way," featuring Shedeur Sanders as an understudy who never actually gets the stage. Let's break down what Musgrave actually said. This isn't just "he's not starting yet." This isn't "he's third on the depth chart." No. What Bill Musgrave admitted, point blank, is that Shedeur is not getting meaningful reps. Not in real scenarios. Not in game speed situations. He's not being developed. He's being displayed. And the kicker? Musgrave called the practice drills theater.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
Theater. As in, staged, artificial, designed to look productive while actually accomplishing nothing. That's not just a critique. That's a dagger. A confession. An inside man telling the public, don't believe the hype. This is all a show. And when your own position coach is describing your quarterback strategy as theater, the problem isn't just with your roster. It's with your culture. Because this isn't about talent anymore. This is about power. This is about fear. This is about a coaching staff that is so obsessed with control and optics that they're willing to stall the career of a franchise quarterback just to protect their own status quo. Let's be crystal clear. Shedeur Sanders is not the problem here. He's done everything right. Worked. Waited. Stayed composed. Stayed focused. Didn't tweet. Didn't pout. Didn't demand a trade, yet. He's just been doing the work. And what has that earned him? A front-row seat to one of the worst quarterback management debacles we've seen in years. And that's saying something. Because this is Cleveland. The bar for quarterback disasters is basically underground. But even by Browns standards, this is next level. This is willful ignorance. This is malpractice disguised as caution. Because Shedeur isn't just not playing, he's not even being prepared to play. This isn't a situation where he's sitting and learning behind a veteran while sharpening his tools. He's not being put through real reps. He's not being integrated. He's not getting red zone work, 2-minute drills, or first-team chemistry. He's getting theater. And the Browns are hoping no one notices. Surprise. We noticed. Bill Musgrave made sure of that. And now that the curtain's been pulled back, what's left? A team with no real plan. A quarterback with nowhere to go. And a fan base that's done playing along with this scripted mess. Let's talk about the fans for a second. Because Browns fans? They're some of the most resilient people on this planet. They've sat through decades of false hope, bad drafts, worse coaching, and quarterbacks that ranged from underwhelming to downright cursed. But Shedeur? He represented something new. Something different. He wasn't just another, maybe this guy can do it. He was a moment. A chance to pivot. To finally build around a quarterback who had the tools, the poise, the pedigree. And what did the Browns do with that? They turned it into a subplot. A jersey-selling side quest. A locker room accessory. A cautionary tale in real time. Meanwhile, #FreeShedeur is trending. Other teams are circling like vultures. And you better believe Deion Sanders is watching all of this unfold like a chessboard. Because if you think Coach Prime is sitting quietly while his son gets sidelined for political reasons, you haven't been paying attention. Deion built his brand on calling out exactly this kind of nonsense. And he's been in enough locker rooms to know when someone's being frozen out. So now, let's imagine the next steps. Let's say this continues. Let's say Cleveland holds the line. Keeps running the offense through safe hands and shaky decisions. What happens? Shedeur walks. Maybe not today. Maybe not next week. But at the first real opportunity, trade deadline, off-season, whatever, he's gone. And the minute he steps onto a team that knows how to use him, you better believe it's over. He'll shine. He'll ball. He'll get media coverage, endorsement deals, maybe even comeback player of the year, just for escaping the Browns. And Cleveland? They'll once again become the punchline of the anvil. The team that had the guy and didn't know what to do with him. The team that let Bill Musgrave speak the truth and still chose denial. The team that turned a quarterback into a mascot, then watched him become a star, somewhere else. And that should haunt them. Because this isn't just a misstep. This is a franchise-defining moment. You either develop the player, or you bury him and become another cautionary tale. But the time for theater? It's over. The audience sees the wires. The spotlight is off. And what's left is reality. So Cleveland, what's it gonna be? Play the kid? Or pack him up? Because Shedeur Sanders isn't here to be a prop in your drama. He's here to be a quarterback. A leader. A problem, for other teams, not his own. So let him be that. Or let him go. But don't waste another day pretending you're doing what's best for his development, while his future gathers dust on your sideline. Because when this all blows up, when Shedeur shines in a different jersey, when the headlines flip, when the fans turn for good, you won't get to say you didn't see it coming. Bill Musgrave told you. We all saw it. You just chose to ignore it. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment. Should Shedeur stay and push through, or demand a trade and take his talent elsewhere? What team should go all in and rescue him? And if you're a Browns fan, how much longer can you put up with this? Hit that subscribe button, because this story? It's just getting warmed up. And when the fire spreads, you'll want front row seats. It's not even about whether Shedeur Sanders is ready. It's about whether the Browns are ready for him. Spoiler alert, they're not. They're not ready for what it means to let a new, high-profile, social media-savvy, future franchise quarterback take over the narrative. They're not ready to admit that a 22-year-old with name recognition and leadership instincts might be a better option than whatever safe veteran they're currently propping up as the face of the team. Because let's be real, this isn't about football anymore. It's about power. Playing Shedeur means admitting they were wrong. About the depth chart. About their off-season planning. About the development timeline that's clearly more PR strategy than actual coaching philosophy. It means shuffling the internal hierarchy. It means headlines. It means change. And for a front office that lives in fear of scrutiny, change is the last thing they want. So instead, they hide behind cliches. He's learning. We love what we're seeing from him. He's progressing exactly how we hoped. But meanwhile, the actual quarterback's coach is out here saying he's not getting reps that matter. The fans are watching clips of Shedeur throwing lasers in warm-ups with no follow-up in games, and the rest of the league is doing that thing where they smile politely while calling your GM behind closed doors like, so, what would it take to get him? Let's zoom out for a second. In any other high-performing organization, football or not, you recognize talent and you make room for it. You don't bury it under politics. You don't sideline it because it didn't come from the right pipeline. You certainly don't reduce it to a symbol. And yet, that's exactly what the Browns have done. They've turned Shedeur Sanders into a narrative, not a quarterback. He's a PR bullet point, a jersey seller, a locker room asset with no clear role. And if that sounds familiar, it should, because this isn't the first time Cleveland has done this. We've seen this movie before. It's called Draft the Guy, Ignore the Guy, Destroy the Guy. And we all know the ending. But here's the twist. This time, it won't just be fans who suffer. This time, the player has the leverage. Because Shedeur isn't just talented, he's connected. He has a built-in media apparatus. He has a father who literally built a football brand around the idea of betting on yourself and not waiting for someone else's permission. He has fans outside Cleveland. He has options. So if this front office thinks they can slow cook this situation until it magically works out, they've got another thing coming. And it's not just that they're mishandling a talented quarterback. It's that they're doing it in public, while the player himself is too polished to push back, yet. That, yet, is important. Because right now, Shedeur is doing exactly what he should. He's staying quiet. He's staying poised. He's letting everyone else make noise. But you can feel it building. You can feel the quiet tension in every sideline shot. You can feel the weight in every non-answer during a press conference. You can hear it in the fan chants. See it in the tweets. It's coming. And when it breaks, it's not going to be loud. It's going to be surgical. One trade request. One statement. One Deion Sanders mic drop. And the Browns? They'll be stuck spinning. We tried. We believed in him. We just weren't ready. No kidding. Let's go back to the real kicker in all of this, what Bill Musgrave said. Artificial. Theater. Not meaningful. Let's break that down. Because artificial doesn't just mean fake, it means carefully constructed to appear real while lacking substance. Translation? The Browns are running a simulation of development. The reps look real, but they don't teach. The drills look intense, but they don't challenge. The involvement looks inclusive, but it's all surface level. And you know who notices that first? The players. Guys in that locker room are watching Shedeur get iced out for no real reason, and you better believe they're asking questions. Quietly, sure, but those questions are stacking up. If he's not getting a shot, what does that mean for the rest of us? That's how you lose a locker room. Not with one big blow-up, but with slow erosion of trust. Death by 1,000 closed-door decisions. And when that culture breaks, it's almost impossible to rebuild. Because once players know that performance doesn't matter as much as politics, they check out. And right now, that's exactly where Cleveland is heading. Let's also talk value. Because if the Browns are even considering trading Shedeur, which they'd be fools to do, but hey, it's Cleveland, we need to acknowledge just how much they've already hurt their bargaining power. You can't claim a player is developing beautifully while also giving him scout team reps and having your coach say, yeah, it's mostly theater. You've tanked your own product. And for what? To preserve some imaginary balance in a quarterback room that's not producing wins? Genius. Meanwhile, rival teams are licking their chops. Because Shedeur's marketability? Still elite. His ceiling? Untouched. His game film? More impressive than half the starters out there right now. So whether it's Miami, Atlanta, Vegas, or even some dark horse like Minnesota or Pittsburgh, the offers are coming. And the longer Cleveland waits, the more this shifts from, he could be our guy, to, we just didn't know what to do with him. And that will haunt them. Because once you let Shedeur walk, once you see him in another jersey, lighting it up in primetime, it's over. The fan base will never let you live that down. So here's the bottom line. The Browns are on the edge of a decision that will define them for the next decade. It's not just about Shedeur. It's about what kind of franchise you want to be. Do you want to be bold? Do you want to be innovative? Do you want to be remembered for turning a generational talent into a franchise legend? Or do you want to be remembered as the team that had it all and ran theater drills instead? Cleveland, the spotlight's on you. Time to stop pretending. Time to stop spinning. Play him. Or let him go. But whatever you do, do something. Because if you stay on this path of indecision, fear, and optics-first coaching, well, don't act surprised when Shedeur Sanders becomes the face of your greatest mistake. This should be easy. You have a quarterback who sells out merch, connects with the fan base, carries himself like a vet, and shows flashes of elite play in limited reps. You'd think that would trigger at least some kind of response. A few design drives. Some preseason game time with the starters. Anything. Instead, crickets. And then, out of nowhere, Bill Musgrave drops a truth bomb so heavy it cracks the carefully polished PR floor under everyone's feet. Let's go back to that quote, because we're not done with it. He's not getting meaningful reps. The drills are more theatrical than functional. That's not just a coaching critique. That's a full-on indictment of the Browns' quarterback strategy. That's like your chef walking out of the kitchen and telling the diners, hey, just so you know, we're not actually cooking back there. We're just plating microwave meals and hoping no one notices. It's sabotage. But worse, it's institutionalized sabotage. It's not just one bad decision. It's a pattern. A system. And Shedeur? He's caught in the gears. What's wild is that this could have been the easiest PR win of the year. The Browns had all the pieces in place to create a feel-good, franchise-changing narrative. The charismatic rookie with a Hall of Fame bloodline. The locker room rallying behind new energy. The media eating up the Deion son proves himself in the NFL headlines. The fans finally getting a young quarterback to believe in. It was sitting right there. And the Browns chose to tank it. Because if they play Shedeur and he's great, that means you've got to make real decisions. Benches need to happen. Depth charts get rewritten. And oh boy, egos might get bruised. If he's great, suddenly the status quo is out the window. No more hiding behind, he's not ready. No more talking in circles during post-game interviews. You'd have to own it. You'd have to admit he's the guy. And that terrifies them. Because then it's on. The scrutiny. The expectations. The shift. So instead, they keep him in the background. Smile in interviews. Talk about even rep distribution. Pretend like this is all part of the plan. But that illusion? It's cracking. Because fans aren't dumb. They see the body language. They see the edited clips of Shedeur in warm-ups making throws the starter couldn't dream of. They see the difference. And the louder the silence from the organization, the more it screams. We're stalling. Meanwhile, the rest of the league? They're licking their chops. Shedeur isn't some mystery project. He's already showing enough to be a starter right now on half the teams in the NFL. You think Atlanta wouldn't throw the bag at him? You think New England wouldn't build an entire system around him tomorrow? You think the Dolphins wouldn't love to bring in someone to groom behind Tua? Or maybe even replace him if things go sideways? Every week the Browns keep him on the sideline, his value goes up, not down. Because now he's not just a talented rookie. He's a misused talent. And you know what the NFL loves more than anything? A redemption arc. One day, Shedeur is going to get his shot. And when he does, the story writes itself. Benched in Cleveland. Ignored by the system. Now thriving, now winning, now proving them all wrong. The Browns don't see it yet, but they're building his origin story. They're the villains in it. And when he breaks out, and he will, it's going to be personal. He won't need to say a word. His play will say everything. And Cleveland? They'll be stuck holding the receipts. But here's the thing. This could still be salvaged. Barely. But it could. All it takes is a decision. One brave moment from someone in that front office. Someone to walk into Stefanski's office and say, "Enough pretending. Put him in." Not in garbage time. Not in scout team drills. Put him in the huddle. Give him the keys. Let him run the offense. Because the truth is he's already earned it. You want the locker room back? Play the guy they respect. You want the fan base fired up again? Let the kid throw. You want to stop the headlines from turning your franchise into a weekly roast? Give people something to root for. But keep sitting on this? Keep waiting for the right moment? Keep using Shedeur as a prop in your fake development play? Then you better brace for what comes next. Because it won't just be a trade demand. It'll be exposure. It'll be backlash. It'll be Shedeur on a different team, smiling at midfield while your own quarterback room implodes from within. It'll be the Browns becoming that team again. The one that had it all, and did nothing. And this isn't even about Shedeur anymore. This is about identity. This is about who you are as a franchise. Are you bold? Are you future-focused? Are you willing to pivot when it's clear you're on the wrong path? Or are you just another slow-moving, ego-protecting mess of a franchise that watches other teams build legends while you recycle mediocrity? Make no mistake, this is a crossroads. And one way or another, Shedeur Sanders is going to make headlines. The only question is, will the Browns be the team that launched a star? Or the team that buried one? Shedeur Sanders is teetering between those two outcomes. And it's all because Cleveland can't make a damn decision. Let's go back to something simple. Something primal. Why do fans watch football? They don't tune in for safe decisions. They don't chant for mediocrity. They don't buy jerseys of third-string quarterbacks who never see the field. Fans want electricity. They want chaos. They want hope. And Shedeur is hope. Not just for the Browns, but for every team out there watching this drama unfold, waiting for Cleveland to screw it up just a little bit more. You think other GMs aren't already crafting pitches? Come here, Shedeur. We'll build around you. You'll get real coaching, real reps, no politics, no theater. You think Dion doesn't have a short list of teams where his son could thrive? This isn't just a messy quarterback situation. It's a franchise litmus test. Will the Browns finally choose the future? Or will they stick with the same old cycle of wait and see until Shedeur doesn't want to wait anymore? Because here's the truth no one in Berea wants to admit. The longer they stall, the more they risk losing him, not just physically in a trade, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And once that switch flips, once Shedeur decides he's done giving Cleveland the benefit of the doubt, it's over. There won't be some dramatic press conference. There won't be a temper tantrum. There'll just be silence. And then, a transaction. The tweet will hit. Shedeur Sanders traded to insert lucky team here for a day 2 pick and a conditional future pick. And that'll be it. The Browns will go back to scrambling. Fans will be furious. And Shedeur? He'll start lighting up secondaries in a new jersey, smiling in every post-game interview, casually dropping lines like, "Sometimes you've just gotta bet on yourself." And the Browns? They'll be stuck holding a press conference explaining why they traded the future for pocket change. So, Browns, last call. You either give Shedeur the reins now, or you give the rest of the league a gift they'll never stop thanking you for. You're not just playing with a depth chart anymore. You're playing with fire. And that fire? It's wearing number 2. Drop a comment. Should Shedeur stay and fight, or bounce while he still can? Where would you love to see him go? And don't forget to subscribe. Because when this thing finally blows up, and trust me, it will, you'll want front row seats to the Shedeur revenge tour. Game on.